Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to be looking at some more Joy Sparkers today. This one is something I've never even heard of before, which is pretty cool. The group is called Perfume Genius. The song's called On the Floor. Check this out and see what's going on. So we have a triplet feel in the 4/4 here, which kind of gives it a 4 against 6 idea.
I'm trying, but still I close my eyes. The dreaming, bringing this face to mine. Lock the door, the constant buzzing all through the night.
Dude, that panning is interesting.
It rips me all up inside. On the floor, I pace, I run my mouth, I pray and wait. I cross out his name on the page.
Yeah, very cool.
This washes away. My body is safe.
Yeah, and I like that transition from one vocal style, the choir effect, to the singular.
The rise and fall of his chest on me.
Yeah, the panning is put on display right there. It is wild.
The violent current of energy.
Yeah, so we actually have like a triplet inside of a triplet feel with eighth note versus quarter note. Whoa. Yeah, I like having that synthesizer harmonize with the vocals here.
Dreaming, bringing his face to life. Out the door, I pace, I run my mouth.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll dig into it if the song's almost over.
This washes away. My body is safe. His heart is in mine. Just want him in my arms.
Yeah, that little harp idea going on back there. Yeah, very cool. Has a sort of like, I don't know, kind of, was it dream pop? Is that what I'm thinking of? Has like a dream pop vibe to it as far as the heavy reverb and a lot of the effects going on top of the pretty standard musical ideas that are going on underneath. A lot of the awesome things that I'm enjoying about this is on the production side and the way that they're manipulating the sounds coming into it. Um, yeah, so to me, it has that sort of dream pop, I suppose, vibe to it. And it is very cool how they've taken that idea and manipulated a little bit to kind of give it a, what era of music would this be? 50s maybe? 50s pop? It's kind of what I'm kind of getting a vibe of. I might be a little off with that, but I'm definitely getting an older vibe, something that I'm tying into the idea of a jukebox. Like I said, I'm not sure what era this would be in, but I think this mostly the vocals and some of the chord progressions and the melody lines are just reminding me so much of a much older era of pop music, and then mixing that with the more modern dream pop sound. It's a very cool combination, and I will say it is a very bright and joyful song. It's perfect for this week. Um, I do. I'm probably going to point out a lot of production here. First of all, the main thing, I think it happened almost throughout the entire track, is that the underlying sound floor, melody, rhythm, whatever it is, I actually don't know how to parse this. It's a series of eighth notes, which I would typically refer to as a melodic element, but the way it's used here is more of a sound floor, and it's because they use disruptive production to remove coherency to it, uh, and it kind of strips out the melodic component, and it is this back and forth thing. It's constant eighth notes, um, triplet eighth notes if we're sticking with the 4/4 idea, which give me 1 second. I'm gonna pop this back to the very beginning of the song, and I want to hear something. Yeah, so the very first thing we hear is in a fast 4/4. So we're eighth notes in 4/4, and then we immediately move into that the triplet feel. So I'm going to approach my analysis from the idea that the song is written in 4/4 with heavy use of triplets rather than 6/8 that occasionally provides emphasis on uh, dotted quarter notes. um, so yeah, I think it's just easier to talk about it in 4/4 triplets. And the first thing we hear is in 4/4. So I think that's enough of a confirmation for me. Um, so yeah, we have these triplet eighth notes, just do 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 do, but they're constantly bouncing in the panning. We have left and we have right, left and right, and they just keep alternating, and that's the disruptive production I'm talking about, where it's almost turns it into a sort of an idea of Hocket, where it's not Hocketed based by timbre of the instruments, but their location in the sound sphere. But because it's so quickly, it's almost like a strobing effect, a musical strobing effect, which also disrupts some of its power as a melody, and it turns it into almost like a drone, I would say, a droning concept that sits in the bottom of the song and allows the rest of the stuff to play over it, which is mostly the vocals and any instruments that are playing along with the vocals to provide extra texture. Like in that middle part, I think it was about 3 minutes in, 4 minutes in, when it was pretty much just the vocals, and it had this synth, a very wide reverberating synth harmonizing with it, and it provided a little bit of a sharpness, as well as just that extra reverb and width to the vocal track. And that actually propped up or came up quite often, was utilizing high reverb synth sounds paired with the vocals to add texture to the vocals themselves. And yeah, it all kind of comes together, I think, to create this dreamscape. The airiness, the width, the reverb, the I don't disorientating aspect of that strobing synth part that undermines the not undermines under lies underneath the entire song. It does feel very dreamlike, and I think that fits in with some of the lyrics that were going on. Um, to me, it seems like some sort of pining for someone else, but there's also some lines about what seem to be in the present moment. So, to me, it kind of seems like either an unrequited love or possibly, you were just with somebody and, that time is over. You have to go your own ways. You have other things you need to do, your work and your life and all that. Could have been a date or something like that. And just that want, that need to see them again, to be within their presence again. Um, so to me, a lot of the lyrics kind of are uh, in the realm of fantasy, wanting something that can't be right now, and that kind of ties in to the dreamy sound. Now, of course, it's very possible that the dream pop sound is just their generic sound, is what they put in all of their music, and it actually doesn't have any strong ties to the lyrics. But I do like how they line up, whether that's intentional or not. Um, the vocals, I think, are an interesting part of the track. They reside in sort of a higher register, higher range, and it provides a sort of vulnerability to it. They're not exceptionally powerful. They do have that sense of longing in them, emotionally injected into the vocal delivery, but there's also this vulnerability to them that I think also fits very well with this, especially within the concept of these being someone's personal thoughts. And I think it just works. I mean, it all just comes together very nicely. Um, there was one other production thing I wanted to talk about, and it is slipping my mind, which is a shame. I do like the length of the song, though. I really expected. I mean, I probably could have looked prior and saw that it was 5 minutes long, but given the intro and the fact that we did this verse chorus idea, I figured we were going to do a bridge chorus and finish it out, and it would actually be like a 3 minute song or something, and kind of fit in with modern pop structure. And we actually entered into some interesting ideas there in the middle, and turned some of the concepts on its head and introduced a new area that I was not expecting. And then, of course, we had that outro section that had that harp like run. It was like 3 or 4 notes, just, I don't remember if it was going down or coming up, but it was like diddle 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 really quick, and just kind of providing this sort of whimsical element to the ending of the track. Speaking about that tone, it is interesting. It is a left hand sound, um, which is just, it feels just a little bit further than the strobing effect does, and it's present throughout the track and provides embellishment and counterpoint. Um, and it's a very strange idea to me to have the secondary melodic component to the track feel so distant. Wait a second. I wonder. I wonder. So the song is about a person longing to be within the presence of another person, and there being distance between the two. And I wonder if that plays into this anyway at all. We have the vocalist providing the main melody, and then the secondary melody is quite distant from everything else in the song, definitely distant from the main vocalist. Interestingly, most of the time that we get to the counterpoint is times when the video showed both of the dancers together instead of the one dancer by himself. So it's interesting that when the music, the two melody lines finally lined up, even though there was still distance between them, but they were actually doing things together, the music video had entered into a portion with two actors as well. Let me see if I can figure out in the lyrics. Hmm. Yeah, maybe there's some lining up in the lyrics as well of being in their presence. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and listen to it and see how the lyrics line up against the counterpoint. Specifically, listen in for that. But it wouldn't surprise me if it did line up a little bit better with those elements coming together at the right time. So yeah, but also uh, removing it from the theme of the song, it does make the mix itself feel a little bit lopsided. It does lean a bit to the left. There's nothing on the right that really pulls it back that I feel, which is an interesting decision. It didn't make the song less enjoyable for me, but it is something that I noticed. Um, and interestingly, though, I think it became less noticeable as the song went on, and I think that just might be due to having more elements, more layers being added on throughout the song. But yeah, when it first came in, I was like, we got this thing going on over here, and my right ear is empty. What's what's going on? But yeah, I think it's real easy, at least for me, to just get sucked into the song and enjoy the bounciness of it, the poppiness of it, the danciness. It's an upbeat song. It's infectious, and I quickly sort of forgot about that little mix issue until just now. Um, oh, I do want to talk about this rhythmic concept. So the song starts with what feels like eighth notes in 4/4 on a guitar, and it's only there for half a beat. It's a half a bar. It's a half of a bar pickup. So we have half of a bar before bar one. We call that a pickup, and it uh it moves as soon as we hit bar one. We have a hi hat, I think it is, dropping these triplets within or against the 4/4. But aside from that, we also have the triplets in the strobing sound, but then in the bass, kick, and snare, we are 4/4. And like I said, we could also kind of view this in 6/8 with the snare and the bass emphasizing beats 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I still think 4/4 is the way to view this song, in which case we get emphasis on beats 1 and 3. I'd have to go back and listen, but it's definitely emphasizing the downbeats throughout. I don't remember which ones have the bass and which ones have the snare and which one of those are more accented than the other, but the the bass kick and the snare definitely accent the downbeats of 4/4. So we have this almost four on the floor kind of feeling going on with this 6/8 kind of flow on top of it, or maybe even within it, I think works better as an analogy. And I've always talked about 6/8 being kind of flowy to me against the strict 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, which is just very heavy handed. You get this nice sway of 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it feels looser to me. um, and I think it's interesting that that looseness is exaggerated by the strobing effect. It makes me want to sway even more, having the sound bounce back and forth between my left and right side. It makes me want to sway with it. And then the 6/8 is already giving me that sort of looseness. So it feels very loose, but also having the bass kick and the snare in there, laying down those quarter or laying down the beats of 4/4. It has this rigidness element as well to it, and it's a very interesting concept to me, uh, structurally, to have this rigidness within the looseness, and to have them so intertwined. And thinking about this within the context of this story of being in a relationship or starting a relationship and wanting to be with the other person, I wonder how much of this is about contrasting personalities, opposites attract kind of thing. One person is a bit more structured in their life, another one's maybe a little bit more spontaneous, and both of those elements are captured in the rhythmic aspect of the song. Again, as usual, I could be reaching a little bit, but I do think it would be pretty cool if that was an intentional choice, um, to inject those two ideas into the rhythmic aspect there. I think that's going to be it for this one. Touched on the counterpoint, touched on. Oh, no, 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 the chorus. I do want to talk about the chorus because I think this is so cool. So we have a choir type thing that comes in and starts every sentence with the how long till? I think it's how long till. Maybe it's just how long. And then the lead vocalist comes in with a little bit more power, a little bit more presence, and finishes the sentence off. And I just really love this call and response dynamic, and the way that it's layered, and sort of the placement with the choir being a little bit pushed to the left and a little higher than the vocals coming in. It's a really nice flow as far as space goes. And actually, now that I think about it, a lot of this song does deal with space, in the sound sphere, placement of sounds. And I think it's just a phenomenal job in the production of creating the song as a whole. All right, that one wraps this one up for me. I don't think I have any last minute. Wait a minute, I meant to talk about this things. Yeah, definitely a joy sparker. Very very bright, happy. The lyrics are a little. I mean, it's like is it lovesick? Not necessarily, I would say, a joyful song, but there's definitely a lot of joy in it. I wouldn't say that longing is a joyful emotion, but there's definitely joy in. Well, the longing is produced from joy, so I guess that kind of fits. It's a happy, upbeat song though, so I can go with it. I can roll with it. Those are my thoughts on Perfume Geniuses on the floor. This is where you guys come in, hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this or not. If anything stuck out to you that maybe I didn't touch on, anything that I did touch on, you think I need to, talk about more. Maybe you saw something that I just didn't get to. Definitely hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Above the comment section, there's a description box with a link for Linktree. Takes you to this menu right here. It has everything related to the channel. If you'd like to support me through Patreon, special selections, merch, everything's in there. You can also join several communities like my Twitter and the Discord. You can email me. You can check me out on blocked videos. It's just a bunch of stuff. Go check it out. Above the description box, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We got one more video coming up in about 6 minutes. It'll be the special selection for the day. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. UTC, as usual. We'll be looking at more Joy Sparkers and another special selection. Until next time, remember to be critical but not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.